It's been a while since I've done a video regarding towing, and I feel like this is a necessary video. Even to this day, with all the creators on YouTube, you still have people who just don't understand payload. Now, most people understand towing capacity, but in this video, I feel as though we're going to answer the question. Now, the manufacturers, they don't necessarily show this to you right away. And most people probably don't even read this, but there's 3 things I want to discuss with you in this video that you may not have ever seen, but the manufacturers tell you every single time because they are good at CYA. Really good at it. I borrowed these trucks from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. If you are in the market, be sure to text the number down below, and let's go ahead and jump into the video. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you guys can tell these are totally different trucks. This is a Tradesman, this is a limited Longhorn. The reason why I brought these trucks together is because this is the misconception that everyone forgets about when it comes down to towing. I see a lot of people who, when I've been to a rodeo before, for example, and a lot of those people have crazy, let me just stop because I can go for a long time. They got crazy money. And when they pull up, they don't play around. They pull up in the most Mac Daddy truck they can get. And this limited Longhorn fits the bill. It looks the part. And yeah, I mean, this is a nice truck. And the price of it, it's $101,650. Now, base price is $77,950, but keep in mind $14.95 for dual rear wheels. With that being said, obviously, if you want a truck like this truck is going to hurt you when it comes down to towing capacity. You might be wondering, well, what do you mean by that? Well, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at it. Every single option that this truck has, all this extra leather adds weight, these power to pulpit running boards, we know this already. We already know where I'm going. All this stuff, even your 5th wheel prep package, will affect your payload. So this truck has a 14,000 pound gross vehicle rating, right? Also, your axle, 6,000 up front, 9,750 in the rear. This truck has a 4,991 pound GVWR right there. So if you take 14,000, subtract it from 4,991, this truck weighs 9,009 pounds. This truck is basically 9,009 pounds, guys, on the curb. Now that is with this 50-gallon fuel tank, so that's extra fuel that you're lugging along. And that's why this payload does seem a little bit lower. But because of this trim level, because of this powertrain, because of this overbuilt suspension, because of everything, there's so many things, right? There's so many things that this truck has. It weighs 9,009 pounds. Now let's see what this Tradesman over here is going to weigh. So right here, nothing's going to change for the gross vehicle weight rating. Okay? But you guys see here, this truck has an even bigger payload, 5,369 pounds. So let's go ahead and do the math. So if you subtract 5,369 pounds, 8631. Now this truck does not have the 50-gallon fuel tank. And again, as I said, the standard one for dualies that are long bed like this with crew cab configuration is going to be 32 gallons. So you're lugging on extra weight when you get that 50-gallon fuel tank. So let's just see real quickly. If you take 9,009 and subtract it from 8631, this Tradesman saves you 378 pounds when you skip the leather seats, the sunroof, all the niceties that you get basically in that limited Longhorn, right? And as I said earlier, if you're someone who's balling out of control, you definitely want to pull up in this truck. Now, if you're pulling a 25,000 pound trailer, sadly, that could affect your ability to tow that trailer simply because of that 378 pounds that you lost based off of this truck here. Here's my first point. Anytime you're looking at towing capacity, payload capacity, the manufacturer does tell you this. I'm going to show it to you here. It says max trailering weight rating represents a properly equipped base trim configuration. Sadly, you want to hear something that's really funny? That configuration is not even this Tradesman. It gets worse. that truck don't even exist. You heard that correctly. Those trucks, when you see those maximum towing capacities, which I'm going to show you here in a second, those trucks really don't exist. Now, when you see those towing capacities, those trucks have no options. Literally a base trim. And when I say no options, let me just scoot back here for a second. You guys see right there? They don't even have that. Four-wheel drive is not even on those trucks. So when you consider towing capacity, understand that those numbers don't mean anything. And when I say towing capacity, I'm talking about the advertised towing capacity like this with the Payload, which is their bragging rights. Here's my second point, and it's on that same sheet. It says here, Payload and max trailering weights are estimated values. What the heck does that mean? I'm not a smart person in terms of like, you know, understanding things. Like, I'll be honest, I did not do well in school. But what does that even mean? Like, what? Like, can you give me a definition of what that actually means? It says here, let me read it again to you. Payload and max trailering weights are estimated values. Why would we be estimating numbers for these trucks? Keep in mind, CYA, cover your applesauce. My kids watch my channel, so I can't curse. With that being said, and I don't curse, by the way, I try my hardest not to curse. You know, God is, you know, above all, so I try to be, we'll talk about it later, but yes, when it comes down to towing capacity, these numbers are all estimated. Even when they actually have the truck that they need, the numbers don't even really matter. It really goes by this one thing. Let me show it to you. Payload, payload, payload. It always goes back to this yellow sticker right there, or whatever color your sticker is. Maybe yours is worn out because of weather, but regardless of it, here's something you have to understand. I'm gonna put it on my screen. It says here is line number 13. It talks about your towing weight. Now these numbers are way too low. They say 10% still, even in 2025, but 10% for conventional hitch, which is the hitch below the bumper, your receiver hitch, and then they say 15%. Now I would say closer to 13-14%. So if you had a fifth wheel trailer, for example, I would say your hitch weight, your pin weight is what they call it, is going to be around 20 to 23%. Let's just say you're looking at a DRV Mobile Suites. I've actually walked through one of those before. Super nice trailer. They probably have a 21,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, right? Let's just do the math really quickly. If you take 21,000, this is the gross vehicle weight rating too, but once you add all your crap in those trailers, you probably can get there pretty quickly. And let's just say you do that by 21%. Remember, this truck has a payload of 5,369 pounds, okay? So this trailer that we're talking about could have a potential hitch weight of 4,410. If you subtract the 5,369 minus the 4,410, you only have 959 pounds of payload left. Now keep in mind, that 959 has to accommodate your big butt, your wife's big butt, and whoever else you got in the back. Dogs, kids, doesn't matter. And your fifth wheel hitch, any gear you put in the bed. If you decide you want to add any accessories like bigger tires, that's going to cost you a lot more payload too. This truck barely makes that work. What about that limited Longhorn? What would that number be? To have this beautiful rig here, you would only have 581 pounds of capacity. So again, take out your passengers, all your equipment, your hitch, everything. This truck may not work for that really nice rig. And we haven't even discussed axle ratings. And I promise you, on a trailer that size, you'll easily exceed that even on a dually truck. I've seen guys do videos online, and maybe I'll do a separate video showing you that guy who I found. And I was shocked by the numbers too, because he had a toy hauler. So again, these things all make sense, because if you damage your truck or you cause an accident, these things could come back and bite you. So here's the last thing I want to show you guys. On line number 7, it says payload and trailer weight rating are mutually exclusive. What the heck does that mean? I really don't understand any of this stuff, guys. Like, what does that really mean? I really do know what it means, but here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you want to put it in layman's terms, it's like this. They are one and the same. You can't exceed one without exceeding the other. You just can't. And that's basically what they're telling you. So if you think that you can tow a 30,000 pound trailer, because I'm gonna show you guys the towing capacity for this truck. I'm gonna show it to you. But if you think that you can exceed your payload, you can't. To tow that trailer, you have to stay within your payload capacity, but you have to stay within your trailer weight capacity too. So they're one and the same is what they're telling you. In other words, they already know, just like we already know that have done this for a long time, that you cannot ever reach that towing capacity that they show you that this truck has. They've already told you that the numbers are just estimates anyways. So that is the biggest takeaway from this video, is understand your payload. Now I know someone in the comment section is going to say, as long as you stay under your axle, your tire capacity, blah blah blah, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just showing you guys what I found. Whatever I learned, I just teach you guys, because you know, this is just hard stuff. I mean, I have to admit to you guys, this is hard. Doing this type of research, it is complicated, and they do that for a reason, because it's called CYA. Now I'm still trying to figure out a good clickbait title for this video to tick off my haters, but we'll figure something out here. Regardless of that, I want to show you guys the towing capacity for these two trucks. So we'll go online really quickly. I'll show it to you guys, and then that'll pretty much end this video. So this is the truck here, and then this is the configuration. So 33,890 pounds of towing capacity, and then 42,800 pounds is the gross combined weight rating. So just remember, this is based on a truck that weighs 8,470 pounds. So this number, if it's higher than this, you have to subtract it from this number. So what did I teach you guys today? I taught you that the idea that, oh, hold on, I have to say it the right way. The idea that you could tow 33,000 plus pounds of trailer with these trucks is ludicrous, because it says here, payload and trailer weight are mutually exclusive. See you guys in the next video.